Hey guys, now, can you answer this quick question for me? What kind of person steals when they are already rich? They attack their own fans and terrorize the entire state of Hawaii. What kind of person does that, people? Now guys, you may think I am talking about a fictional character, maybe the Green Goblin, or the Joker, or maybe someone even more petty, like the Reverse Flash. Close, but no. These are all actions committed by a real-life supervillain and proves the point that you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. Now, I've been putting this film off for a very long time because of the controversy behind the actor, the mess that is the DCEU or DCU, whatever they go by nowadays, I don't know. And how does one make a good Flash film? My brother convinced me to watch it since he had, and that it was surprising. He didn't say good or bad, just surprising. So I faced my fear of the unknown and the fear of the YouTube algorithm and finally watched the film.
Don't watch it!
Ow, what was that? Anyway, is it as bad as everyone says it is? Or will it surprise me like my brother said? Let's find out. Spoilers, by the way, for anyone who cares. The film starts off with Barry Allen, aka The Flash, trying to order breakfast at the most depressing Starbucks I have ever seen. And we have Ezra Miller doing his best impression of a kid with ADHD or a coffee addict. I don't really know what he's going for here.
Yeah, I have to go to work 3 minutes ago, and sorry, I'm in sort of a rush for the sandwich.
Barry is rightfully upset because the barista is being a dick. I mean, who even has this much human interaction with a stranger this early in the morning? Barry gets a call from Alfred to help Batman with something, and oh my god, what is that CGI? How much did this film cost again? Okay, if you say so. This Ben Affleck Batman scene is actually pretty good. It's a shame this is probably going to be the last time we see him doing any Batman stuff. However, I can't praise this sequence too much because all of this has nothing to do with any of the film. We cut back to Barry, who is trying to save a hospital building from collapsing, and I just love this guy's attempt at trying to open the door. Well, I guess she's dead, but at least we tried, right guys? We are introduced to Barry's calorie watch, which is a cool idea because it implements the niche concept that Barry can't go super fast if he is hungry because he needs energy. Then we see the infamous baby shower scene where the CGI definitely does not hold up at all.
Look at the top of his head!
You know, Barry, maybe letting them fall isn't such a bad idea. We return with Batman chasing down Falcone's henchmen, and Batman delivers some sweet bat justice. By the way, if Batman doesn't kill, what does he think is happening to these guys? Batman stops the henchmen and Wonder Woman shows up in the world's most pointless cameo because she leaves just as fast. Not before Barry and Bruce embarrass themselves.
I developed this all-powerful persona to compensate for my childhood trauma.
I too have childhood trauma.
A lot better just giving all my money away. If I really want to end crime, I should end poverty.
Well, I know sex exists, I've just never experienced it.
What do you mean? This is a terrible representation of Batman's character. If he gives more money to the corrupt businesses of Gotham, he would be funding the very criminals he is trying to stop. Barry goes back to the shop without anyone noticing, and how is this guy still making Barry's breakfast? All of this didn't happen in Flash time. And how did no one feel that wind coming in? You wouldn't see the Flash, but you would definitely feel that wind. Later, Barry has a run-in with Iris West, and this scene is so awkward, which I get is what they're going for, but it's way too awkward to watch for me.
God, it's been a long time, huh? Maybe I was just thinking about you. Really glad I ran into you. Yeah. Your father's appeal is tomorrow, right?
Yeah, how do you know about that?
Funnily enough though, this is the most realistic interpretation of two young adolescents who clearly like each other interacting, and it's the most awkward part of the film. It doesn't help that Barry and Iris's actors have no chemistry with each other at all. Barry goes home and finds a letter from Bruce, which has clearer footage of Barry's dad going to buy tomatoes on the day of his wife's murder. However,
you never look up, Dad. You can't see your face.
So without new evidence to support your alibi, we're just gonna need to start thinking about the next appeal.
surely this is bullshit, right? How are they going to convict his dad even though there would be so much evidence showing that he didn't do it? For example, Wouldn't there be cameras all over the shop from the minute you enter till the minute you leave? Surely one of those cameras would pick up his face, or at the very least, they would recognize that he is wearing the same clothes in the footage as the ones he is wearing when the police find him with his wife's body. In fact, let's go even simpler. Can't he just show them his receipt and his bank details as proof that he was at the shop buying tomatoes at the same time his wife was being murdered? But anyway, Barry doesn't think about any of this and just runs to his old family's home so he can go have flashbacks and be sad like a little bitch. Yeah, I don't think I can keep that in. I might keep that in.
You are right. There are a bajillion answers to this question. Not every problem has a solution. Sometimes you just have to let go.
In the writing world, we call this foreshadowing. It's a bit forced and awkwardly implemented, but foreshadowing all the same. His family being happy was actually pretty cool though, because we get to see that they managed to add his iconic Run Barry Run into the scene.
These kids start singing. Run! Run, Barry!
Barry goes downstairs and his dad comes back from the shop and Barry finds his dad holding his mom's body with stab wounds. Barry's dad tells Barry to call 911.
Barry! Call 911 now!
And Barry runs out of the house? Why? Barry gets so emotional and starts running. He runs fast enough to enter this chrono ball, speed, force, time stream manipulation thing. I don't know, whatever it is. And he decides the best idea is to stick his head out of the bubble and figures out that he can time travel. So I guess Zack Snyder's Justice League isn't canon anymore. Also, his head looks so bad here. And then Barry decides to meet up with Bruce. And Bruce gives Barry a pep talk, essentially saying, don't f with time. Don't do it. Don't you dare do that. Don't do that now, Barry. Now I'm going to leave you in this clearly emotionally broken state and not check up on you or your whereabouts. Now I'm off to cash in my check so I never have to be in this shitty universe again. What? I mean, I'm rich and can't be seen around peasants like you. That makes sense. Iris shows up. Wait, how does she know where you live? Is she a stalker? Iris and Barry talk and Barry convinces himself that going back in time to make sure that his mom bought the can of tomatoes earlier would mean that his dad never had to go out and buy tomatoes, so his mom would never be killed. How come Barry doesn't think that if both his parents are at home, what's stopping the killer from just killing the pair of them? And the killer? Who are they? I thought it would be revealed to be the Reverse Flash or this creepy purple guy. Nope, not that creepy purple guy, this one. But spoiler alert, we never find out who the killer was. And Barry doesn't even seem to care to find out who either. Maybe we find out in the sequel. Oh, wait. So Barry goes back in time and adds the extra can of tomatoes to his mom's cart and is about to return home, but this purple guy I was talking about earlier knocks Barry out of the bubble. Barry Allen, your hero everybody, robs an elderly couple and goes to his family home where his mom is still alive. But their dinner gets interrupted when another Barry shows up. Now, if one Ezra Miller wasn't bad enough, now there is two of them. And this younger version has the most annoying laugh I have ever heard.
It's what you described.
Times myself. You can't just...
And he is somehow so much more annoying than the original Barry Allen. Which is funny though, because Barry also finds Barry 2, which is what I'm calling him now, because I can't think of another creative name. So Barry also finds Barry 2 annoying, which I guess means he is supposed to be in the same, situation as us. But I'm going to find you annoying as well. You don't get any passes in my book. Luckily for Barry, he figures out that he was knocked into the exact day he is supposed to get his powers. Barry panics and thinks if he doesn't get Barry 2 his powers, then Barry 1, or Barry, will lose his powers and be stuck. Now, this is stupid for a number of reasons, and I'll explain those later. Barry uses his powers and helps Barry 2 break in and gets his own powers, but Barry loses his powers for reasons, I guess.
I'm slow.
So later, Barry finds out that Zod is showing up a couple years early and none of the members of the Justice League exist, except for Batman, because we got to have Batman, or else this film will not sell whatsoever. So they break into the Wayne Manor and find a washed up Bruce Wayne, played by Michael Keaton. Yeah, you guys already knew about this because this video's like 3 months too late. Bruce proceeds to beat the absolute crap out of Barry, which I appreciate. Barry tells Bruce that he broke time, and Bruce explains with spaghetti that Barry didn't just go back in time and change the future. he created a new future with a new past. Basically meaning Barry went to an alternate timeline where his mom lives and stuff like the Justice League just don't exist anymore. Now, how does Bruce know all of this? Anyway, I don't think the writers understand how dark this is, because this means Barry never went back in time and saved his mom. He created a split timeline and saved Barry 2's mom. So technically, Barry never saved his own mother, which is what this film is supposed to be all about. Barry asked Bruce to help with Zod because I guess in Barry's superhero tier list, Batman is as strong as Superman and can defeat Zod? What? Bruce says no. So Barry and Barry 2 break into the Batcave to figure out where Superman is, but they find out he doesn't exist. Barry has a moment with Barry 2 in an actual well-written scene because Barry is angry that Barry 2 isn't taking any of this seriously and taking his mom for granted. 5 minutes later, Bruce changes his mind and decides to help them find Superman, but it's actually Supergirl. So, they break into the Siberian base where Supergirl is held, and Bruce is taking too long to hack into the security terminal. So Barry 2 tries every combination, but
I tried all the combinations.
that's not how computers work. The computer wouldn't be able to type in super speed, and even if it did, wouldn't the computer have locked Barry out after too many failed attempts like any modern computer? They set off the alarm, causing a fight scene where it's cool to see CGI Michael Keaton doing cool Batman stunts, but then you remember he's supposed to be like an 80-year-old man and doing shit like this? Yeah, there goes my immersion. Barry 2 moves Barry at super speed out of bullet fire, causing Barry to puke, and doesn't even follow the rules the movie itself set, because earlier in the film, Barry has moved Barry 2 and other people at super speed and no one puked. So why? Comedy? Do you find this funny? They find Supergirl looking bony and they help her escape, but for some reason her supersuit was also locked up with her. Why? Questions galore. They save her and bring her back to Wayne Manor to ask her for her help to stop Zod. But she says no and leaves, which is kind of rude. I mean, these guys saved your life, whatever. Let's move on. Barry decides that the next best action to take is for him to get hit by lightning and recreate the accident that gave him his powers in the first place, so that he can be the Flash again. And Bruce helps, almost killing Barry in the process. Supergirl returns and somehow knows what they're doing and flies Barry into the sky to get struck again and get his powers back for good. Then she decides to help them fight Zod. Now, why did this work? Does being closer to the lightning have something to do with it? Like, is it like area of effect? I have no idea what's going on. And have you noticed that the only way the writers can go and show character development is to have someone say no and then 5 minutes later come back and say yes? Just because. Reasons, I guess. Now, are you guys ready to watch an epic CGI battle on the most boring, bland colored landscape you have ever seen? I know I am! Barry 2 makes a suit out of one of Batman's old suits, and we find out that Zod killed Clark. Barry, that's super helpful. Why don't you use that move on all the Kryptonians? Oh, you won't? Oh, okay then. By the way, Barry, you're using quite a lot of energy. Won't you be getting hungry soon? Or does that not matter anymore? In fact, there are a lot of plot points in this film that get brought up only for them to mean absolutely nothing in the end. Like Barry's calorie watch just going missing, and whatever Falcone's goons were doing in the beginning of the film with Batman, and how that briefcase of poison is just a MacGuffin, I guess, or Barry not wanting to feel like the Justice League's janitor.
Look, Alfred, I've come to accept that I'm essentially the janitor of the Justice League, which sucks, but I've come to accept it.
I thought that was going to be like Barry wants more respect, but no, that never comes back either. You can literally see the multiple rewrites that this film went through, a literal Frankenstein of a script. Unfortunately, Batman and Supergirl both die, so Barry 2 and Barry decide to go back in time again and again and again and again and again to save them, but they keep on dying. Wait a minute. Wouldn't the first Barrys that show up to this place see their multiple doppelgangers the first time around because of all the time-traveling shenanigans? Barry 2 keeps trying to go back and save them, but he keeps getting messed up more and more each time, and Barry realizes that not every problem has a solution. The purple guy shows up, because I always come back. Okay, I'm sorry guys, I have to say it. The purple guy shows up, and plot twist, we find out that the one that threw Barry into the wrong time was actually Barry 2 from the future, after decades of trying to save his own mom. Who didn't see that coming? We then see that infamously bad scene with all the multiverses of Superman, dead actors, and Jay Garrick's Flash. Not even a shout out to my boy Grant Gustin. Purple Guy is about to kill Barry because he doesn't want Barry to go back and kill his mom, but Barry too sacrifices himself instead. You know, for a guy called the Flash, he sure does a lot of standing around. Barry goes back in time and puts the tomatoes back on the shelf, allowing his mom to die, but not before putting them on the top shelf and not learning a single thing that Bruce said at the beginning of the movie, because now Bruce Wayne is George Clooney. Who wanted that? Do you know what this means? Barry never got back to his original timeline, so his dad is still in prison wondering where his son disappeared off to. Michael Keaton's Batman and Supergirl that Barry originally met are now dead, along with however many other Bruces and Supergirls that these two idiots killed, thanks to all of Barry 2's time traveling. Do you realize how monumentally fucked up this all is, right? This is probably the darkest ending to any superhero film I've ever seen. And then we finally end with the most pointless end credit scene with Aquaman doing drunk guy things because he drinks a lot. And this scene means absolutely nothing. But yeah, that's the film. Honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I know, that's a shocker, I know, right? The one thing I am disappointed about is that this is The Flash. Like, this film is about The Flash, an actual cool character, and this film didn't do him any justice. The Flash felt like a side character in his own film, where Batman was the main character, where the villain is a Superman villain? Like, what's going on? It sounds like an AI made this script. Why couldn't this film be about Barry trying to save his mom from whoever killed her? Maybe the Reverse Flash. But all in all, I actually enjoyed it. No. I did not just say that. No. I have to stop myself from enjoying this film. Cola out. I've got to do something real quick.